The atonement of Jesus Christ is an incredible thing. He came and lived and died for us on that cross and rose again from the dead and did something that we could have never done. He of course shed blood of infinite worth because he was God's son. He was the son of God. But even more than that, at that moment, he took upon himself on that cross all of our sin, all of your sin and my sin. He took upon himself. He bore the full penalty of that sin, and he took upon himself. He was forsaken of his Father in that moment and took upon himself the full wrath of God for that sin so that we wouldn't have to, so that we could be forgiven instead. But interestingly enough, in the providence of God, Jesus himself said that if you want to be a Christian, it's so much more than just believing. He said you need to be willing to take up your cross, deny yourself, and follow him every single day to be saved and endure to the end. You have to be willing to forsake all so that you may gain Christ. And Jesus said, if you're not willing to do those things, then you are not worthy of me. Can you believe that? A lot of pastors, a lot of teachers, even in church, don't talk about this very much. It's the cost of discipleship. Guys like Bonhoeffer, old school pastors, used to talk about it, and he called it costly grace in his book. It was a costly grace, and there is a cost to discipleship. You can't be a Christian. I know my shirt says discipline. Disciple just means a disciplined one. You can't be a Christian without being a disciple. It's not possible. Some people will say that it is, that believing is enough, but according to God's word, you have to be disciplined. I kind of like what I disagree with John MacArthur about a lot of things, but I like what he says here, that the true gospel is not about self-fulfillment. It's about self-denial. Huge difference. Huge difference there. And so I challenge you to go after God, to believe, and to have faith, to have a saving faith, but to also be a disciple of Christ.